I'm going to introduce spreadsheets to you today. The one that you're looking at right now is Microsoft Excel. There are a lot of different spreadsheets out there. This is the one that we use at the school. What you're going to see up here, you're going to see columns, which are the A, B, C column. You're also going to see rows such as 1, 2, 3, 4. Where the row and the column meet is called a cell. For example, the highlighted cell right there is called what? C4. If I move over to this cell right here, it's going to be called E2. And if I come back to this one, it's a very simple one, it's going to be called A1. I'm going to teach you the most basic spreadsheet that you can possibly imagine. I could teach an entire class, a semester class, on just this piece of software because it does so much. I want to teach you the basics so that you understand that this is a tool that you can use. We're going to do a weekly budget. In this first row right here, I'm actually going to put a title for this. I'm going to call it Weekly Budget. I'm then going to highlight my title. I can highlight here or up top. I'm going to make this size 18. And I'm going to make it bold so my title is nice and bold and it stands out. I'm then going to come across the top and I'm going to label these as 4 different categories. I'm going to label it date. I'm going to label it item. I'm going to label this one expense. And I'm going to label this column income. Income is money that comes into you. Expenses, that's money that you spend. I'm also going to make this column a little bit wider. I'm stretching that across. You're going to put a series of 10 entries in. I'm not going to put all 10, but I'll give you an example. On the 17th, I was able to get some allowance. That was an income. I misspelled allowance. Let me correct this. I'm still misspelling it. Allowance. My income was $20. I'm not going to put in dollar signs and so forth right now. I'll show you an easier way to do it. Also on the 17th, I bought lunch. That's an expense. I spent $2. On the 18th, I bought lunch again. That was also $2. On the 18th, I went shopping. I bought a new shirt, and it was $10. Well, so far I'm just adding data. I haven't used the power of the spreadsheet. I'm going to do that now. If I highlight this cell and work my way up and click the sum button, it adds everything in that cell. I will do this one as well. And I click add. Those are my totals. The total expense, the total income. I'm going to do another total called the grand total. This total is going to require a formula. Watch me do this. I put the equal sign in. I'm going to equal D7 minus C7. I am subtracting my expenses from my total income. When I hit enter, that now becomes a total. And you can see right here that this is now a total. Negative 10. If you do the math in your head, that doesn't make sense, does it? I need to do D8 minus C8. I need to put the equal sign in. There it is, 6. If you believe that 20 minus 14 is 6, my formula is working. You can see if I click the cell, I have my formula. If I click this cell, I have the formula. Let's test it. Let's go back up here, right-click, and insert a row. We'll call this 2/17. We're going to say that I got birthday money and I received $100. If our formulas are working correctly, when we hit enter, this number should change and our grand total should change. Let's hit enter and see what happens. Both of those numbers change. With a spreadsheet, you don't have to use a calculator. You can go back in and add, make changes, and the math automatically updates with your change, which is very, very much of a time consumer. If I highlight all of my cells, I right-click, I go to Format Cell, I select Currency, I click OK, then all of those numbers turn into currency numbers, again, saving me time because I don't have to add dollar signs and decimals. This is the weekly budget.